How new generation hip-hop values saved Rick Ross's career from 50 Cent.
Hey, and 50, you bore me. I might need to get at Eminem now. I might need to, I don't know. Eminem, I'm a big fan of yours. But your guy, your monkey, your pet monkey is boring me. Thought he was a goon. Thought he was real. I'm in your hood every day. Mazda Cox. What his name? Maserati Fox Cox. You're a fag. Laughing at you niggas. Do me the biggest favor. Fuck your mama.
There's nobody in control of me. Like, I do what I want to do. So, I'm deciding to fuck your life up. Rick, bro, I'm gonna fuck your life up. For fun. There's a few times. This is not new. I do this all the time. I got a list of niggas.
Welcome to Rediknow. Today we're looking back on the famous beef between Rick Ross and 50 Cent and examining how new generation hip-hop values helped save Rick Ross's career and credibility. One of the most emblematic beefs in hip-hop history has been the never-ending grudge between 50 Cent and Rick Ross. While rap beefs are traditionally characterized by savage diss tracks, the heat between the two heavyweights highlighted a whole new dimension of rap beefs. From disrespectful taunts and clowning on social media to bringing the families of both rappers into the crosshairs, both artists showed how other means of disrespect can be as effective as diss tracks. This can be seen in the several career-threatening secrets that both artists released on each other, with the situation even escalating into legal action. However, the rivalry has equally produced several acid-laced diss tracks such as Mafia music by Rick Ross.
We stepping on you crew till the motherfuckers crush, and making sweet love to every woman that you lust. I love to pay your bills, can't wait to pay your rent. Curtis Jackson, baby mama, I ain't asking for a cent. Burn the house down, you gotta buy another. Don't forget the gas can, jealous stupid motherfucker.
An Officer Ricky by 50 Cent.
Officer Ricky, radio for backup. See your ass anyway, you know I'm gonna act up. You wanna play with me when I don't wanna play? Have my niggas whip the skin off your ass in broad day. Screaming boss, nigga, you ain't a boss. Pussy nigga, you lost. Listen, officer boss, I tell you straight, suck a dick to try and come subliminal. Cause you asked the police, my niggas is criminals. Like every other word out your mouth's about a verb. Like you sling cocaine, this shit is absurd. You's a rapper, you's a motherfucking rapper. It's a rap, your career's fucking rap.
Of all the secrets revealed by both artists, the biggest was the confirmation by 50 Cent that Rick Ross is a former corrections officer. This information will ordinarily not be harmful to most rappers. However, for Rick Ross, this meant that his gangsta, drug-pushing, crime boss persona and all of his lyrics were fake. This kind of revelation should be enough to destroy the credibility and career of a rapper like Rick Ross, who has built his whole empire on the image of a rich crime boss. Imagine this. If in the late 90s it was proven that Snoop Dogg was not the real-life gangsta he was known to be, that would have meant the certain end of Snoop's career. Well, hip-hop is in a different place from where it was in the 90s and 2000s. The rise of trap music and other blended genres of hip-hop music has lowered the standards and expectations of most hip-hop lovers. Values like rappers' authenticity and lyrical content just don't matter anymore. Most hip-hop lovers don't care if it's fake or real, original or borrowed. This is why the biggest rappers of today make their hits by either repeating the same words throughout the entire track or talking about experiences they know nothing about. That's how Rick Ross and many other rappers survived and continued thriving even after being exposed as fakes. However, if the Rick Ross vs 50 Cent beef happened in the late 90s or early 2000s, it is highly unlikely Rick Ross's credibility and career would have survived. The Miami rapper also handled the situation in the worst possible way, making mistakes that could have helped destroy his credibility and career even faster. Here are 5 mistakes that Rick Ross made, following the revelation of his past as a corrections officer, that would have helped destroy his career if it wasn't for the low values and expectations of new generation hip-hop. If it is your first time here, welcome. Please subscribe to our channel, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and share it. Number 1. Never mentioned his past as a corrections officer in his music. Rappers generally tend to say a lot of things in their music that they haven't personally experienced. From flashy rich lifestyle to violent gangsta image, a lot of fictional content is put into rap lyrics just for entertainment. Nonetheless, most rappers occasionally rap about their true life experiences, major defining incidents or people from their past. We know from the music that 50 Cent was involved in drug distribution as a teenager and later got shot 9 times. Kanye West was a struggling music producer before becoming a rapper after a violent car accident. Even when their past can be somewhat tarnishing to their new image as rappers, artists' past still occasionally pop up in their music. Tupac, for instance, studied dance, ballet, and poetry as a teenager. You would expect Tupac to have kept this part of his story hidden, as that would normally not speak well to the defiant gangsta character that he later morphed into as a rapper. However, the rapper severally and proudly mentioned that aspect of his past in his lyrics. In the case of Rick Ross, the Miami rapper rarely addresses his experiences as a real person other than as a super-rich drug-pushing crime boss. If he ever hinted, even only once in his music, his past as a corrections officer, 50 Cent would never have been able to use that against him in their beef. We all know that Rick Ross came from somewhere to becoming the super successful prolific rapper that he is today. The fact that hip-hop fans don't care about the beginnings of the rapper or any other rapper is a direct influence of the new generation of hip-hop. Listeners only care about how much talk of success, wealth, and violence they can get from rappers. Rick Ross clearly identified this and used it as a strategy. However, without taking anything from the rapper's talent and creativity, this strategy would not have worked in the old generation where rappers were expected to be more original. Number 2, initially lied about being a former corrections officer. It's a risky thing for a rapper to completely exclude details of their personal past from their music. Denying their past ever happened is on a different level of risk to their career and credibility. When rumors of Rick Ross's past as a corrections officer initially surfaced, many did not take the revelation seriously. It had to have been a smear campaign to tarnish the rapper's gangsta image and thriving empire. This was further confirmed when the rapper blatantly denied ever coming close to a career in law enforcement in several interviews.
Trick Daddy recently accused you of working as a prison guard at one point, Rick. Is there any truth to that?
No, that's not true. But that's disappointing to hear that he said that. He said that?
That's what the question said, yeah.
That's crazy. It's not true, man, but, you know, dog a sucker, and he mad that, you know, I done came out of nowhere and just, you know, took over the streets like that, you know what I mean? So, you know, I'ma see dog when I see dog, but dog don't want no problems, man.
He slammed Trick Daddy, who allegedly started the rumors, for distributing false information and called on fans to disregard the news. However, as we would later find out, the rumors were founded and Rick Ross was indeed a former corrections officer. If this happened in the old days, it would have seriously discredited Rick Ross and all he says in his music. Hip-hop fans today are so used to rappers lying that it has become a normal thing to do. From Bow Wow lying about private jet trips, to Soulja Boy lying about making expensive purchases, rappers lying doesn't raise eyebrows anymore. So Rick Ross, despite lying about his past and even after being exposed, carried on being successful with his music and other ventures. This would not have happened during the age of the Tupacs and the Biggies. Number 3, failed to give a clear answer when evidence emerged. Having to answer surprise questions about uncomfortable topics in an interview will put anybody in a difficult place. Notwithstanding, evading questions or lying about verifiable facts in an interview can be very risky. For a celebrity like Rick Ross, who is constantly in the public eye, this can have far-reaching consequences on their career. After initially denying he ever served as a corrections officer, evidence surfaced, allegedly leaked by 50 Cent, confirming Rick Ross's past as a corrections officer. In several interviews following this development, the Miami rapper chose to evade questions by providing rambling answers.
Right.
Rick Ross, where did the picture come from? Is that Rick Ross? Was Rick Ross a CO? Was that created, or is that a real picture?
See, this is what we did, right? I got with BET and we doing a whole special on my life. We chronicling my life for a lot of people that just really want to know what the situation is. The Boston did it all to get money. And what you got to understand is, if rumors surfaced, it wasn't because, and people feel like I didn't address them, it wasn't because of my selfish reasons, but you got to understand, when you answer certain things, it may go to what was going on, who was involved, what the situation really was. So what we did was, we got with BET and we chronicled my life so people could understand that by the time I was 17 years old, 18 years old, I was in a, you know what I mean, a nice home. I was in whips. I was doing a lot of different things. And then, you know, I made a few moves, you understand? And I feel like they was the best decisions for me to be here.
At this point, dismissing his earlier denial and accepting he did really serve as a corrections officer would have earned him more respect in the eyes of everyone he was afraid would judge him. His attitude only helped confirm 50 Cent's allegations of him being a fraud. Surprisingly, hip-hop fans continued supporting Rick Ross and his music. Even though his album sales dwindled, he remains one of the most relevant names in hip-hop to date. This would absolutely not have happened in the old days. Any rapper who was caught clearly evading questions about allegations related to his past would have been confirming such allegations, and that would have certainly impacted their careers. The rise of mumble rap, in which everything about the music and the artist is superficial, made it easy for rappers like Rick Ross to get away with compromising themselves. Number 4, later admitted to being a corrections officer. It's bad to blatantly lie in an interview, and it's even worse to eventually admit that you lied, especially when you're a celebrity and the lie was about your past. That's technically what Rick Ross did after coming under several years of pressure following 50 Cent leaking evidence of his past as a corrections officer. The Miami rapper changed his response to the recurrent question of whether he once served as a corrections officer or not. He did what he should have done in the first place, admitting that he did really work in the prison system. However, the fact that this admittance came years after the fact, and considering he lied severally about the subject, just further confirmed he really was a fraud. To many people, Rick Ross's admittance made a bigger case for 50 Cent. A real gangsta, drug lord, and underworld boss would rather maintain a lie once it is told than tell the truth because of external pressure. This proved that Rick Ross was weak and could not be the violent crime boss he claims to be in his music. He technically snitched on himself. The fact that even after this, he carried on being successful with his music is a testament to the low values of hip-hop listeners of the new generation when it comes to holding artists true to what they say. Number 5, continued with his drug-pushing crime boss persona. When people get caught lying, they usually stop lying afterward. Rick Ross did not, or at least failed to embrace the truth of his past in his music. Understandably, the rapper had already spent years building his image and character around a crime boss persona. So nobody could reasonably expect that to change from one day to the next. However, many hip-hop fans expected him to talk more about some of his real-life experiences now that the world knew he was never the crime boss he claims to be. Talking about this in his music would have given him the much-needed credibility and originality his music and image needed. The Miami rapper would see things differently and continue to rap about a life everybody already knew was fake. The fact that this didn't really seem to affect his career tells of how the new generation of hip-hop listeners are not necessarily drawn to originality. Anything rappers make up in their music is acceptable content as long as it comes with the necessary flashiness and youthful vibe. The old school days were different, and Rick Ross's continued impersonation of a crime boss would have failed to resonate with listeners, especially after fans knew it was fake. The common mentality of hip-hop fans of the new generation has enabled many rappers to get away with being unoriginal with their music. Rappers can make hit songs by talking about jewelry, cars, and expensive lifestyles that they know nothing about. Rick Ross doesn't squarely fall under this category of rappers. However, his career was almost singularly saved by the low values that mumble rap has made hip-hop fans have towards originality. Even though a very talented artist and definitely a boss when it comes to entertainment, the rapper's career would never have survived if his clash with 50 Cent happened in the old days. Thanks for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Do you agree mumble rap played a role in saving Rick Ross's career? Please subscribe to our channel and check out these other cool videos we know you would love.